Welcome back, everyone, to Beholder to No One presents Behold Clearlight. I am your Dungeon Master, Ryan Williams, and joining me here are Nikki,
Marissa Lanner,
Greg,
Gregthos steady hand.
Ashley,
Emmy, frankincense.
and Keith.
Zeus.
All right, are we all ready?
hell yeah.
Yep.
Yup, let's do it.
Hello? Hello? Is someone up there? Someone, come get me out of this hole. No, down here. Oh, thank goodness you're here. You're here to hear about those rapscallions who refused to save me when I was in peril and then assaulted me to make matters worse. I don't know why, to be honest, but I can gather that they left the relative safety of the inner part of Vaskil and wandered out in the middle of the night. Well, they found me and, well, you can probably guess how that went. After attacking me, they fought off some vicious dogs that moved in a somewhat insect-like manner, and now that I think about it, and, well, they stormed off, leaving me in my current predicament. I think I overheard them encountering a strange-sounding woman intent on capturing them, and, well, I just hope that they get what's coming to them. Let's find out.
Once again, before you sits this regal-looking woman atop a throne of bones with legs to carry itself. And following along with her are two skeletons of wretches, both carrying nasty, old, rusted-looking weapons. And as she looms over you, the flesh on the lower part of her jaw seems to burn away to ash, so that she just has exposed jaw and teeth. And the bones in her throne all begin to float around her to form a protective shell, creating a suit of armor on herself. And she says, "All right, let us finish this then." I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Talker safe, by the way, that.
You were prettier before. So much for talking my way out of this. I didn't think that would be an option either way, but that'd be funny.
You can always try. You can use your turn to try to do that.
That seems like a waste of a turn for some reason.
I don't know, you get an easy 10, pretty much. Or a dirty 20.
You can't roll below a 20 on a persuasion check.
Nope.
So-
It's ridiculous.
all right. So, 25 to 20.
Zeus got 20.
20, okay, for Zeus. Okay, 20 to 15.
17.
17 for Emmy.
15.
And 15 for Rissa. All right, and that just leaves Gregthos. What'd you get?
3.
Oh boy. All right, bringing up the rear. All right, so, Zeus. You see before you this looming figure who seems to be a part of that same organization that wants to bring you into the unity of the flesh. What is your first move?
I'm gonna walk up to her and just pull out my sword and start hacking away at the legs on this damn chair.
All right, go ahead and roll your attacks, my friend.
I want to join your stupid cult. Well, before, though, I am going to use my bonus action to do Fighting Spirit.
Yourself advantage.
So I get advantage.
And how many temporary hit points are you getting when you do this again?
5.
Cool.
Do those don't stack, do they? I don't think they would.
Usually they don't.
I still had my 5 from last time because I never got hit.
Okay,
I don't think they stack, though.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so. That is a 18.
An 18 will hit.
Cool.
She is using her bones as armor, but it's not nearly as heavily protected as the previous creatures you fought.
8 damage.
8 damage to her.
And then the second attack as I come back around, that will be a hit for 25
All right.
and 8 more damage.
8 more damage. Cool. You slash at her throne and chip away at some of the bones holding it together, and she says, "You would dare to touch the queen's throne."
You're no queen.
So she is going to use a legendary action to
Oh, shit, apparently she is.
at the end of your turn,
She is a little bit of a queen.
The drama queen.
or a villain action, as it's sort of technically called. It's something a little different. She is going to use her villain action to raise her hand and clench it into a fist, and suddenly all around you in the whole area, bones, sharpened, spring from the ground, pointing up towards the sky. It seems like moving around is probably going to cause you a bit of damage, but that is going to be her villain action. And actually, that brings us to her turn. I guess I should have asked if you wanted to do anything else at the end of your turn, but I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's all I can do, really.
All right, well, that is her turn. So she says, "We will teach you to respect royalty." And she just looks at you and clenches her fist once again, and I would like you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's not horrible. 22.
Not horrible at all, certainly. You feel for just a moment all of the bones in your body lock up, and you are unable to move for a second, and you grit your teeth as much as you can and strain all of your muscles, and you are able to pull out of your lockdown. But for just a terrifying moment, she had made all of your bones unable to move, but you've managed to shake it off. She says, "You resist. No matter." And as a bonus action, a few of the bones from her throne are going to break away, and she is casting Spiritual Weapon as a scythe made of bone comes down from the sky on top of you, Zeus.
My thing.
That would have had an advantage if you had not succeeded on that saving throw, but that is going to be that is not going to hit. That is going to be an 8 to hit.
Nope.
All right. So you managed to break free from the bone prison that she cast on you, just in time to jump out of the way of the bony scythe coming down on top of you.
As I said, you're no queen. Just some bitch on a chair.
That is going to bring us to Emmy.
Are those two skeletons next to Zeus, are they also enemies?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna back up about 10 feet, and I am going to attack the skeleton on the left with the guiding bolt.
All right.
So, damn it, it's like my first bad roll. I'm
And
guessing.
by the way, moving that few feet is going to do 6 damage to you.
Oh, I didn't know that it was all around us.
Yes,
Oh.
the whole area has bone spikes sticking out of the ground. You're going to take 2 damage for every 5 feet you move.
Okay, so you said I took what? How much? 6?
I think so. I think that's how many.
I
you
moved 10 feet.
Oh, okay, then. Then in that case, you're going to take 4 damage.
4 damage, okay. Alright, so guiding bolt, so this probably is not gonna hit, but does an 11 hit?
An 11 is not enough to hit the skeleton, no.
Okay. Alright, well,
Your guiding bolt goes right through the skeleton's empty abdomen.
alright, that's the end of my turn then.
All right. That is going to bring us to Rissa.
I am. I'm going to cast Shatter at her. I'm going to target behind her so it hits only her and the skeleton to the left and doesn't hit Zeus.
All right.
As a bonus action, I will use my Bardic Inspiration to give her -4 to her Constitution save.
All right, then.
And I'm casting this at 3rd level.
How long does that last? Is it only like a one-time
It's
thing?
her
Or...
next save,
Okay.
which is my save that I'm making her make.
Just making sure.
All right. Well, she's going to fail.
Yay! And then the skeleton.
The
has to make a save.
skeleton is going to super fail. Gets a 1.
Fantastic. So they each take 17 thunder damage.
All right. 17. Gotcha. All right. Are you doing anything else? Would you like to move anywhere? It is going to cause you a little bit of damage. You see there's bone spikes all around you.
No, I think I'm far enough away from everybody else that I'm good.
All right. That is going to bring us to the skeleton's turn. The two skeletons look up at the queen, and she says, "Teach this one respect." They're both going to attack you, Zeus.
Okay, they better respect.
The first one is going to roll a 20 to hit you.
Oh, that hits.
So you are going to take 5 piercing damage as it stabs you with its old rusty sword.
There goes my temp hit points.
All right. And then the other one slashes at you from behind. No, this one you just barely... Using up your temporary hit points means that you just managed to dodge out of the way, but it puts you in a bad position for the one who is trying to attack you from behind. That one rolled a 17 to hit. Is that enough?
Nope.
Okay, so you stumble backwards and manage to catch yourself just in time to get your sword up behind you as the one slashes at you from outside of your field of view. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of the skeletons' turns. Gregthos, what are you doing?
I'm going to use one of my wild shapes to take that the starry form, and I am going to choose Archer so that I can make the ranged attack as a bonus action.
All right.
I believe using that it uses a wild shape, which is an action. So yeah, I'll stay in place and I'll just chuck a bolt of starlight. Yes.
All right.
That is a. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even say who I was hitting. I'll re-roll because I rolled before saying it. The skeleton on the right, closest to me.
Okay.
That is a. Hold on. An 18.
18 to hit. That will definitely hit.
All right. And it takes 1d8 plus 3 radiant damage. 5 radiant damage.
All right. The radiant bolt of light hits the creature directly in the head, dents the helmet that it's wearing, knocks the helmet off, and puts a crack in its skull.
Haha! That's all I got.
All right. That is going to bring us back to Zeus.
Alrighty, Zeus is basically just gonna, after pretty much shrugging off just about everything they've thrown at me, he's just gonna crack his neck and then come down with a straight vertical slash on the so-called queen.
All right.
Which will be a 21 to hit
That will do it.
for 14 damage.
All right. 14 more damage.
And then with the still going right after the slash, I'm going to go straight back up and go at her again for a 26
26 more damage.
to hit.
Oh, sorry, to hit. My bad.
For 14 more damage.
All right, plus 14. Cool.
And that'll be it.
Okay, then. So at the end of your turn, she's going to use her one legendary action once more to... Seeing that these skeletons seem to be ineffective against you, she's like, "Useless. Your sacrifice, however, will prove effective." And the two skeletons that are standing next to you, Zeus, both of them explode into shards of bone, sending out tiny shrapnel pieces everywhere. I would like you to roll 2 dexterity saving throws.
It's a straight up necromancer from Diablo 3. Corpse explosion.
Yeah, she's using corpse explosion. Okay, so the first one is a 16, and the second one is a 5.
Okay, well, the 5 will fail. So you take half damage from the first one and full damage from the second. So that is a total of 15 damage.
Okay, that's not as bad as I expected it to be.
Right. So those two skeletons explode. And then immediately, she is going to clap her hands together, and a bunch of the shards of bone sticking out of the ground are going to rise up. And you see, these are more skeletons, but they are of creatures that don't make any sense to you. They have tails and limbs and arms in directions that you've never seen before. They don't seem to have any sort of symmetry or any sense to them, but skeletons appear next to all of you.
Oh,
That is her one super special legendary action. And then it comes to her turn. And she, not liking all of these just about anything that's happening to her, she says, "You are all too loud. Be silent." And she is casting the silence spell in this area around the 3 spellcasters. I believe the radius is 40 feet, if I remember right. Or maybe the radius is 20. Hold on a second. I will look it up.
20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. Okay, so 40 feet wide total. I believe that can get all of you.
yeah.
All right, so she casts silence on all of you, and that is actually the flavor of that is all of your jaws get locked in place, and you are unable to speak at all. So you are unable to cast any spells as long as you are in the area of silence. And then as her bonus action, she is going to use her spiritual weapon to once again try to hit Zeus. So that is going to be... This one is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, so that is going to be... Ooh, wow, she rolled low on the damage. That is going to be... Hold on. I know how to do math. That's a 5 damage.
Alright.
Just a quick clarification. We can still cast spells within the silent sphere as long as there's no verbal components involved, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, just making sure.
You just can't move your jaw. You can't open your mouth at all.
I've been there. TMJ sucks.
Oh yeah, me too. And then she is going to use her movement to get her throne of bones to leap over your head, Zeus. You are going to get an opportunity attack, and is going to land next to... You know what? She's probably just going to go directly in the center of all of you.
I'm pretty sure 11 misses.
Yes.
She doesn't get affected by her own silent spell, does she?
No, she does not. She's special. And she's going to say to all of you, "You will not escape me like you escaped the others." And that is going to bring us to Emmy's turn.
Okay, well, since I can't cast any spells because all of my spells are verbal, I am just going to try to hit the skeleton next to me with my mace.
You can step out of the silent sphere.
I can, but it's gonna hurt.
Just saying, you can.
Oh, Jesus, I'm not doing so well on this one. That's gonna be a 11 again.
11 to hit is not going to do it against these skeletons. This one looks like a living version of one of the sculptures that you saw earlier, with limbs poking out in all directions. There's a strange, macabre beauty about it.
The end of my turn.
You are less appreciative of the art now that it's trying to kill you.
Yeah, I'm done. I can't do anything else.
All right. That is going to bring us to Rissa.
So I'm just going to grin even though my mouth can't open, and I'm going to pull out a wand I have and point it directly at her and cast Shatter at level 2 because I have it stored in my Wand of Storing, and I don't need verbal to use a wand.
All right
Nice.
then.
I can't do my negatives to her because that's Bardic Inspiration, but Constitution save for her and the skeleton directly next to me.
All right. I'm going to do the skeleton first. He rolls a 2, so I don't even know what the bonus is off the top of my head, but that's not going to do it. All right. And then for her, she is going to use her legendary resistance to succeed on it.
Okay, well she still takes half damage, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very nice. 19 damage to her, or to hit the skeleton, and 8 damage to her.
All right. Actually, 19 damage is enough to kill these skeletons.
Yes.
So this guy dies.
And I just like twirl the wand around.
This skeleton sort of evaporates into a cloud of bony dust. And the Queen of Bones is almost thrown off of her throne with the force of the shatter. But she manages to stay upright. Let's see. You said
Twirl
8
the
damage.
wand
to her.
around, and I just blow it on it like a gun, like.
Which is a little harder because you can't open your teeth, but... You do it.
I make the movement.
You can snort.
I don't know about that. That feels like a little less cool. Anyway, that is going to bring us to all of the skeletons' turns. Now, these skeletons are a little bit stronger than the starting ones that she was just bringing around with her. And all three of the people who still haven't killed their their respective skeleton buddy is going to be attacked by their skeleton buddy.
Ooh, not me.
All right. So first up is Zeus. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That's a miss.
All right. Gregthos, this one is going to roll a 23 to hit you.
Yeah.
That'll do it. So it is going to swing its rusty, old, worn-out sword at you and deal 6 damage.
Ow! I don't have my tetanus shot.
All right, and then the one that has emerged next to Emmy is going to roll a 16 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. So this one smashes up against it, but you manage to block it with your mace. All right. So that brings us back up to Zeus's turn.
All right. He is just gonna turn around and just start walking back towards her and take whatever damage and opportunity attacks.
All right. So the skeleton's going to make an opportunity attack against you. Ooh, it rolls a natural. This is a different die, and this one rolled a nat 20.
Jesus.
I swear I'm losing a different die now.
Fortunately, I can't cancel that because 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Oh, wait, no, I could, but
Can you use your mouth shield?
it doesn't say it has a verbal component to it.
Cool.
It's just a glare that I give him. No, I'm going to save it because I only have one left, and if she...
All right. So you're going to save it?
Yeah, I'm going to save it because I think hers, if she does a natural 20 on anything, it's going to hurt a lot more, so...
All right. So you are going to take a total of 11 slashing damage as you run away from the skeleton, and then the spikes in the ground are going to do an additional 4 damage to you.
Okay, cool. That hurt. Alright, as a bonus action, I'm going to second wind.
All right.
I'll get back 13 hit points. And then I will go back to attacking her.
All right.
22 to hit.
That will do it, definitely. You've definitely put a few more nicks in her bone throne than she started with.
Yeah, well, I'm not going for a throw anymore. I'm just going straight for her.
All right.
Don't ruin the chair.
8 damage on the first attack.
All right, 8 more damage.
And then second attack is a 16 to hit.
16 will hit, yes.
Okay, cool. Phew. 16 damage.
All right, plus another 16. All right, then.
And that'll be it.
All right. So she is going to use her villain action at the end of your turn to give all of the skeletons free movement and attack. She says...
Oh, joy.
She calls out to all of them. Well, unfortunately, you can't. You have a little trouble saying "oh, Joel." You have to say it through gritted teeth. But each of the skeletons is going to get a free movement, and they do not take damage from the bone spikes. In fact, they just detach their legs and walk along, like using the spikes as their feet.
That's enriched.
So they are all going to get free attacks against each of the people that they can reach. So, Gregthos, that is a 9 to hit, not going to do it. Emmy, that is a 7 to hit, also not going to do it. Zeus, that is another 9 to hit. None of these skeletons can do anything.
Oh, they should have kept their legs on. Maybe they would have been able to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
They got greedy and wanted to look cool.
Instead, they all start playing the xylophone on their rib cages. That is going to bring us to the queen's turn. Right. So, man, she has so many people that she hates. Well, first, as her bonus action, she's going to get her spiritual weapon, the floating bone scythe, to attack you one more time, Zeus. That is going to be a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
And you are going to take 6 damage.
Okay.
All right, and then her action, she is going to, let's see. Oh, you know what? I guess this is going to be her strongest, her final attack, because she is not looking good. So she's going to use her most powerful spell.
Hey.
She raises both of her hands up in the sky and floats away from her bone throne for just a moment. And the spikes in the ground rise up and start swarming around all of you as if they are insects trying to eat you. I would like everyone to make a saving throw, and I will check the spell real quick to remind myself what kind of saving throw it is.
Well, I already know I failed it.
It is a Constitution saving throw for everyone, because it is a huge area. Mechanically, she is casting Insect Plague.
Well, Zeus got a natural 1, so.
Oof.
5.
My cat just
Ooh.
turned my natural 20 into a 19, so either way, I mean, it might.
Betrayal.
That makes it a 21 or a 20, depending on if you want to take my cat's roll or mine.
It's fine. Both of those will succeed.
She used her legendary action to break the fourth wall.
I got an 8.
Oh, dang. So Emmy is the only one who succeeds. So everyone else, I'm actually going to roll this one just because I sometimes like to roll. Usually I just take the average damage on the paper, but I'm going to roll this time. All right. Everyone is going to take a total of 21 piercing damage as these bone spikes that were previously in the ground all rise up in the air and start swarming around you, stabbing you from all directions. It is impossible nearly to protect yourself. Emmy is going to take instead half damage, which is half of 21. I was going to say 10.
Damage. Will the skeletons get hit too, or?
Probably.
I'm
She
saying-
probably wouldn't care about their well-being.
I was gonna say, she doesn't seem like the type.
That would definitely kill all of them, so that's fine. She doesn't really care about these skeletons. She has plenty of bones.
She can just make more.
So she's floating now?
Slightly, yeah. She sort of the bones in her throne sort of are separating from each other, making her look like she's higher up in the air.
Oh, I was gonna say, is she out of range from us now, or is she still?
No, it's only like a couple of feet higher.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay, and that is going to be the end of her turn.
That was one hell of a turn.
It certainly was. That is going to be Emmy's turn.
Okay. I'm guessing like the fact that they were floating from the ground was just flavor, so those it still hurts to move around, right?
You know what? Yes.
Okay. Actually, I might just shoot her because it looks like I have better attack with my crossbow than I do with my mace. So I think I'm just gonna shoot her in the face.
Oh, here's a fun fact though. Because she cast this insect blade spell, the silence is no longer affecting you.
Oh, well.
Yay.
I might change things then. No, I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay.
I'm being vindictive.
You've already
now.
committed.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot her. That is a 21.
That will definitely
They're
hit.
coming back here. Woo! For 4 damage.
4 big damage
The big old damage.
on the Queen of Bones. So, is there anything else you would like to do? Bonus action, movement.
I'm good. I mean, I guess actually, no, wait, I'm gonna do a healing word on Zeus. Now that I can speak. This is gonna be at first level because I don't have a lot of higher level stuff left, so it's not gonna be much, but it's something. Hey, it was a 4, so you get 6 back.
Hooray.
That was delayed.
I had to unmute myself and change my hit points in like 3 different spots. So
Now it's the end of my turn.
Okay then. That means Rissa, it's up to you.
Question. I'm assuming I know the answer. And the Wand of Storing, if it's a stored touch spell, do I still have to touch people with it?
Yes. It still retains all the properties of the original spell.
Figured. Okay, so 5, 10, 15. I'll move 15 feet over here to be by Zeus. So I take 6 damage from the bone.
Yep.
And
The bones that are now floating in the air.
I will touch him with the wand, and you heal for 9 more damage.
Hooray.
And then I will cast Healing Word at 2nd level on Gregthos. And that will be my turn. Greg, you heal for 8.
Ah, thank you.
All right. So that is going to bring us to the skeletons who are all exploded. Gregthos, your turn.
That was our turn. This is death.
They are now a cloud of bones trying to stab you.
That's not cool. I'm just gonna throw a guiding bolt at the queen lady thingy.
All right.
16.
All right. 16 to hit.
Yes.
Yep, that'll do it.
Haha.
AC's 50. I should have told you guys that earlier.
That is going to be for 11 radiant damage.
All right. 11 radiant damage is just enough to finish her off.
Yeah. Kill steal
Yay.
again.
So you sort of take a second to like bat some of these strange floating bone spikes out of your field of view so that you can fire off a bolt of radiant energy at her, and it crashes through a couple of the bone spikes, shattering them, and then it hits her directly in her chest as she turns to look in your direction, and you see all of her flesh burns away, leaving only her skeleton sitting in this throne of bones. She recoils for a moment, and to your surprise, as she now no longer has a throat or vocal cords, says, "You will suffer for this insolence. I will return." And her skeleton and her throne all fall apart, and all of the bones floating in the air all fall to the floor.
Can Zeus stomp on her skull?
You certainly can.
Cool. Like,
I really wanted
That's-
that chair.
All of the bones in the air lose their animation and just fall to the ground. A couple of them land on your head somewhat painfully, but it doesn't do any actual damage.
Bonk.
Not enough to do hit points damage or eat away at your plot armor. Yeah, your hit points are a measure of your plot armor.
That's a fair point.
The more hits you take, the more likely you are for the next hit to actually kill you and do damage
Got it.
to your physical body.
I will use the last Cure Wounds on the wand on Zeus again, and he heals for 10 more.
So you are now standing in a forest surrounded by a pile of bones. What's the plan?
get the fuck out of here.
So we've been out here for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
it's been longer than that since.
I say we've been walking for a while.
Yes, you've been traveling for quite some time now. It's going to take you about a day to get to the tree, based on your estimations, barring any serious hindrances to your forward momentum. But that only took about like 30 seconds to do. But I would say you're probably halfway there.
Okay.
Who wants to take a short rest?
Yeah, I think we need to find a...
If you give me 10 minutes, I can cast a dome that will protect us.
That would work. I have 10 minutes to spare.
Do you want to save that when we do a long rest, though? Because doesn't it last like 8 hours?
It's a ritual, I can cast it again.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I just need 10 minutes to cast it.
While she's casting that, I'm going to gather up some of the bones.
And there are bones of all shapes and sizes. You've got your pick. Everything from humanoid bones, all the way down to like pieces of trilobites and large beasts. Looks like maybe femurs, but significantly larger than anything you recognize.
I'm going to gather up like mostly the spinal bones. Any spinal bones I can find?
Okay.
Because I plan on adding them to my coat.
All right. So you grab a few coat vertebrae and
Coat vertebrae.
I'm going to sew them onto the back of my coat so that it looks like a long spine down my jacket.
after a few moments, the dome emerges from spell. Now, how exactly? I'm curious. How does Rissa cast this spell?
Since it's a new spell, she is going to be looking at a book, that her sketchbook. She's making a pencil movement over and over again, like trying to memorize the spell. Eventually she will get it tattooed on herself so that she can just cast it from herself instead for flavor. But she does that and then after a little bit, draws the symbol on the floor, and that's where the dome appears.
All right. So, a currently see-through dome of magical energy emerges, but you do know that you can change the opacity, color, temperature, all sorts of things about this dome. And you take a moment to rest, recuperate, bandage your minor wounds that you've gotten, rest your bruised ankles, and gather your thoughts for the rest of this journey.
I do Song of Rest since we're doing a short rest. And
Yes.
everybody gets an additional D6 hit points.
For hit die or just
Total. So you use your hit die. As long as you spend a hit die, you get an additional 1d6.
oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Seems like a solid plan.
It's not one per hit die, it's just
No,
one.
It's one total.
Okay.
If you spend at least one, you get one total.
While we're taking our short rest, I'm starting to sew the vertebrae onto my coat.
All right.
I'm not going to be able to finish, but I can at least start.
I could possibly assist with that. I have
You know-
mending. It might help you in some way.
I have that too. I mean, if we both did it, maybe. Does mending actually do that?
It's meant to like fix things that are broken. But I mean, if you're just using it to like sew something else onto something else, it's not like it's not. I don't think you're gonna break the game.
I win.
I've won Dungeons and Dragons because I have a cool coat.
Yeah,
Yes.
you recreate the skeleton perfectly, and it comes to life and kills us all because it was a giant dinosaur.
awesome.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, I guess me and Gregthos will have some craft time while we're resting. Just take off my coat and start It's actually probably the most skin you've seen on Emmy because he wears a tank top like underneath his jacket, so he has like the bare arms. You can actually like see the color of his skin.
I could also
it-
have bare arms.
Is it also tattooed like his face?
No, just his face is tattooed. His arms
Alright.
are completely bare.
He's like a juggalo.
Yeah, he actually it's kind of weird because he actually kind of has like slightly darker skin than the tattoo gives off. He's very tan, which is weird because you think like, oh well, he's normally in his lab all the time, but he's got a little bit of a tan.
It's just from those UV lights and the.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
It's just like he kind of just tans himself under all of his workbenches.
All right. So, shall we continue in playing this Dungeons and Dragons game?
I suppose.
If we must. So, you take some time to rest, either sewing bones onto a coat or trying to keep all your blood inside of your body. And you are ready to continue moving. Now, as you get further and further into the forest/ancient city, you're seeing less ancient city and more forest. It seems like as you get closer to the tree, even more of the plants have overtaken the structures. At one point, you even see there's a large church steeple that has a tree completely growing through it and has grown in such a way to destroy the steeple, and it's just holding up chunks of it up in the air.
Where's your god now?
Well, it seems the gods have abandoned this world, if the general populace is to be believed. But the mist is still oppressive as you continue your way forward. You still feel the strange, lurking horror that something is watching you. And a lot of the time, something is. As you just make your way through these corrupted woods, you can hear all sorts of animal calls, and you do see a couple more of the Queen of Bones' skeletons running around, but without her nearby, they don't seem to have any serious direction. You see a couple more of her statues, bone structures, and it seems that she has left a mark on this place that exists even beyond her presence.
But her damn chair fell apart.
Yes, that is hers. She brings that with her wherever she goes.
including the afterlife.
I know the feeling, but it's still fucked up.
Thank you, Ryan, for making that happen.
Yeah, it was personal at that point.
I don't know what. If I gave Gregthos a walking chair, I think he would become too powerful. Like there'd be no stopping him.
He would become the new king of bones.
We would no longer be Behold Clearlight. We would be Behold Surelight.
Chairlight.
Clearlight.
But you seem to be passing through like what were either once perhaps gardens or greenhouses, and seems to be just a general abundance of plant growth that is now gone, unfortunately, dark and corrupted. The mist seems to have taken just about everything out here, for even the plants themselves. As you walk by, at one point you see a squirrel with 9 eyes get chomped by a giant Venus flytrap. And just seems like just everything out here wants to kill everything else.
God, it's like Australia.
I wanted that squirrel for a pet.
She did.
It wasn't a good squirrel. Like it was.
It wasn't a good squirrel.
There were eyes where it had no business having eyes.
That's even more reason to have it as a pet.
I
Could see
disagree.
all-
say so.
Probably has some bad mange too.
And fleas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want fleas, do you?
Think of like a squirrel from Bloodborne.
Oh God.
Terrifying.
And actually, this place, the aesthetic somewhat looks a little bit like Bloodborne. Just terrifying, horrible, corrupted creatures wandering through an ancient, abandoned city.
Log in that game too.
But you eventually come to a large clearing, and in it you can see a bunch of what look like spires, like with plants growing over them. Perhaps they were obelisks, and that have been completely covered over by the vines. And they're arranged in a circle around nothing in particular that you can see, but you pass through it and you can sort of feel like an energy about this place. Like it's like there's almost like the sound of a distant buzzing as you pass through the center of these strange obelisks. But you continue to make sure, if you want to cast detect magic.
Guys, mind giving me 10 minutes?
I suppose not.
Wait, you suppose not?
It might be important.
Wait, is that a yes or a no?
I think it's a hesitant yes.
You can do it, but I'm gonna stand all the way over here outside of these things.
Well, I mean, I can stand over there too. I just need 10 minutes to cast it so that we have more research reasons to explain what these weird things that DM probably just bullshitted into the story, but I'm curious.
Why don't we all just stand directly in the center of all of these obelisks while you cast?
That makes perfect sense.
And everyone start chanting. Just if you see any words on the ground, just start chanting them as loud as you can repeatedly.
Yes. Obviously.
Put a little blood. You know, do some blood sacrifice.
So you take some time, cast the spell. Nothing attacks you just this moment. And as the spell completes, these obelisks grow bright pink. And the magic aura emanating from them appears to be just pure magical energy. I guess I suppose that would be evocation. Just pure, raw magical power. These seem to be storage, like large stores of magical energy that were used for It's difficult to tell. You spend a little bit of time like looking around in the area. You know what? Go ahead and roll an investigation check, Rissa, and anyone else who is particularly curious about this place.
Yeah, I was gonna take a moment to kind of just like circle one of the obelisks
15.
to see if there's any kind of like markings or anything like that on them.
You said
Nope.
you rolled a 15?
Yep.
And I heard a nope from Gregthos.
Sure did.
Okay. You rolled a nope, so you can't really make anything out because it's completely covered in like vines and leaves, and you try to like push them out of the way, but you just find more vines and leaves. Gregthos. It's like this thing is almost covered in like sod. But Rissa, with your detect magic up, you can see that this place was used to store power from something, and you find like the language of the ancients that you can just barely see through the undergrowth. Are you proficient in history? Can you read the ancient language?
What I will do to save time is I will make a etching of them using paper and like the pencil and draw over it.
Okay.
And then later when we long rest, I'll comprehend languages so I can read it.
All right.
I was gonna say I'm proficient in history, so if she points them out, I probably could take a look at it too.
I mean, I'm proficient in everything, but technically.
Oh, you got the bard half proficiency thing?
Yeah, but like I can actually tell what it's gonna say later if I just. But I don't want to spend another 10 minutes casting another spell right now.
All right.
I can point them out though to, just in case. Maybe Emmy will know. Hey Emmy, come here.
Okay, gonna walk over there.
All right. And in the ground, it's sort of like arranged in circular patterns all around in the center of these the circle of obelisks. There are carvings in the ground that all like talk about the ancient titans who protected us all, and the last stores of the power of the gods. And it's parts of it are missing, parts of it have been scratched away by creatures crawling over this place over the thousands of years this has been here. But it seems like this place talks about, it's like in honor thanking the gods for providing the titans to protect us. And you're not entirely sure what that means, but this place is like a site of reverence that has kept the power of it seems like the divine energy of the gods must be contained within these obelisks. And if you would mention that to Rissa, it certainly makes sense, because they are glowing with a very bright, powerful energy, even though they are completely covered in vines, leaves, creeping plant life.
Yeah, I would say I'd probably be like reading this out loud to everybody so that they can hear what I'm getting from it, because I normally talk out loud to myself anyway, so even if I'm not particularly talking to them, they'll still hear it. These things are huge though, right?
They're not like absolutely massive. I would say they're probably like 6 feet tall.
No.
Each of them.
I'm saying we wouldn't be able to carry one.
You could probably like break a piece off of one of them if you wanted to, or.
What did the word say again, briefly?
It's all a bunch of different things, all seeming to be thanking the gods for providing the Titan protectors and for giving the world that the energy needed. And it seems to be thanking a couple of gods in particular, which is it seems odd because there are two. Now, not a lot of people these days have a lot of knowledge about the ancient gods that the old peoples worshipped, because very few people are believers these days. But I believe Gregthos is proficient in religion, right? Yes, no?
No.
Oh, never mind.
I have +2 to it.
Okay, so you might have heard these are major gods anyway, so there's a decent chance you've at least heard of these. The two gods that they seem to be thanking in particular are Mechanus and Melora. That's the god of like law and civilization, and also the goddess of nature and chaos, which seem to be two opposing ideals. But it seems that the two of them worked together to provide these peoples with whatever it is what they needed. And these obelisks are containing a great deal of magical energy from them, it seems.
Okay. I'm curious, I say to the others, if these could be a power source in the future to possibly make stronger things for our city.
Yeah, I was thinking we might want to point these out to the city, because they said they wanted to get whatever we found, because there's no way we could transport these back to the city. So maybe if we told them the coordinates, we could at least, tell them that they're here.
Well, Rissa, you're our group cartographer, so that I believe that would be your doing.
All right, I'm the group like everything. I'll continue drawing my map.
All right. Feeling confident that you've drawn a successful map to the place, and it is not incredibly difficult to find. It's not hidden. It's a relatively large open area in the middle of the forest, although of course, getting here in the first place is dangerous, obviously, as some of you have almost died. The way here. Yeah, no big deal. But you feel pretty confident that you could help somebody find this place with the use of this map that you've drawn. And is there anything else you would like to do here?
Nope.
Okay. So you continue with your journey, still heading towards the massive tree that you occasionally get glimpses of in the distance. It doesn't light up anymore times in the course of your journey, but you're still able to see it whenever there's a break in the tree line. And eventually, it's starting to get towards, like, if there was a sun, like a significant sun to speak of, it would probably be sunset around this time. And but you do finally make your way to the base of this absolutely massive tree. It is several stories tall, but when you arrive, something else catches your attention. Something beyond the massive tree. What catches your eye first is the largest golem you've ever seen. It sits unmoving, leaned up against the tree and partially engulfed within it. In front of the massive machine are a series of statues that depict a group of humanoids, although time seems to have worn away the specifics of, like, who exactly these people are. But you see large plants of all different kinds blooming all around here, and it seems that some of them have even managed to retain their colors instead of turning into the purple and gray that you've seen just about everywhere else. It's almost a bit jarring to see green and red and blue, this large clearing in front of this massive golem, it looks like.
And you said it's in the tree? Like it's like half into the tree?
Yeah, it looks like this massive golem like leaned up against the tree, and the tree has started to grow around it. It's in a seated position and sort of leaning slightly forward. And as you approach the statues at its feet, you can see a plaque written in the language of the ancients that says, "We honor the Titans who protected us and the brave heroes who protected them. Rest in peace, knowing that you are needed no longer." And surrounding these statues, they seem to be like statues of perhaps a band of adventurers not unlike yourselves, of all different sizes and shapes, although like I said, the very fine details of these statues has been worn away over the many years. You can tell, like, at least one of them is either a halfling or a gnome. Unfortunately, another one of them the head seems to have fallen off, so it's difficult to tell exactly who all these people are, but they were clearly some people that were very important to the ancients. And it says they saved the Titans, and then the Titans saved the people. It's yet another mystery of the ancient history that seems to have been lost.
Come across a lot of those.
Looking around these statues, you can see that there are offerings to these statues. It was difficult to see from further away, but as you walk closer, a smaller area around all of these statues is just like the entire floor is covered in, it looks like gold. It's covered in, dirt, and some of it has been marred by all the plant life in the area, but there's a thin layer of gold all around the floor in the area around these statues. And as you're standing there looking at all these strange statues and the offerings made to them, the giant golem's eyes flicker for just a second. And all of you see this. And from that, the tree once again lights up with what appears to be starlight. And energy suffuses all away from the tree, just like what you saw before, Gregthos. And now all of you can see it. It seems that this Titan, that they've called it, is releasing some sort of pulses out into the world, and especially into the tree. And as that happens, all of the plants in the area briefly bloom for just a second. Every single flower in this entire clearing blooms. All of the plants briefly flourish, and you can see a kaleidoscope of colors that you haven't seen in plant life outside the city since you've left. And some of the plants actually begin to move, and you can see some of them are moving towards you, and the ones moving towards you seem to have long vines with thorns on them.
Can I call out to the Titan
You start.
using my new ability of universal speech?
What's that?
It makes it so that 4 people, so I'll pick the Titan specifically, and then I guess Emmy, Gregthos, and Zeus will magically understand me regardless of the language I speak.
Okay.
And I will say, we are not here to hurt you. We are just here to see the beauty that is here and understand the magics that that surround this tree. Please. I'm trying to explain that we're not going to hurt them or threaten them in any way, and there's no need to go on the attack.
All right. Go ahead, because I think that these. Unfortunately, the golem does not seem to react to your call. It just flickered to life for just a half a second, and it seems to have gone dark again, and it does not seem to hear your call.
Would I have noticed that before I picked the golem and have picked the vine creature?
I don't think you would know who to talk to, unfortunately, in this case. But if it makes you feel any better, the plant creatures wouldn't understand you anyway. They don't speak any language except plant. They speak plant. I don't know if that is one of the.
Can you
It says
talk
regardless of the language you speak.
True. That's a good point.
It says intelligible to any creature.
They are plant creatures. I know this from Magic the Gathering. It is considered a creature and a plant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, you know what? That will stay them for now. These plants with long tendrils covered in thorns that were previously shuffling towards you seem to stop for a moment and sort of puff up as if they are showboating. But they stop for now.
Combat with them would have only lasted 6 seconds anyway.
I don't want to hurt the plants.
Do you think we should call this in to our friend and let them know what we found?
Yeah, that might be a thing.
Well, we only have 25 words, so it mostly be we reached the tree.
Giant golem.
Plant monsters attacking, possibly.
I want to say we could back up.
Yeah, why don't we back up for now? I have this for an hour,
You had what for an hour?
this ability
Okay.
to talk to them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Let's get out of their reach and figure this out before we get any closer.
Mhm.
Because I don't think they want us here.
Right.
I will try to convince them. I will stay back far enough, but I will try to have a conversation with them. We don't have to roleplay it, but to try to get them to understand within that hour that we just want to research and we will not hurt anything or touch anything that we shouldn't. But they
Alright.
can't talk back to me. It's just they understand me.
Okay. Okay, so you lace your soothing words with magic as you attempt to assuage the fears of these plant creatures. And you back away from the massive metal golem. I don't think I mentioned that it's metal, but it is a massive metal armored golem that looks like humanoid in shape, very tall and lanky though, if it were standing up. And as you back away from it, it very briefly shuffles again. It looks like the lights in its eyes come on for just a second. And it looks like the whole body sort of shudders for a second, and one of its legs sort of falls over, and the bottom of the foot becomes exposed, and you can see in the foot a door falls open, and a red light shines from within.
Does anybody want to go put their foot in the door?
Not until we long rest.
Yeah. I mean, it is getting dark, so... Well, as dark as we know.
Can you make another one of those dome thingies?
Yeah, but we should do it a little bit further away.
Yeah, why don't we take backtrack just a little bit, maybe 100, 200 feet away from this?
How far away were the obelisks?
That was...
A couple hours, right?
No, actually, that was relatively close to here. I have not been doing a good job of telling how much time has passed between these landmarks. But no, that was relatively close to here. Like 50 feet from here.
Maybe by the obelisks? Because, I mean, we can see outside the dome. Maybe we can see if something happens there while we're waiting and resting. I mean, maybe these two things are connected. They seem like they are.
That's exactly where my mind went as well. I have no qualm with retreating back to the obelisks.
That sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So everyone makes their way back through the small amount of forest separating the massive titan nested in its tree back towards the obelisks covered in roots and vines. And you start to set up your dome of safety.
Yep.
Can sending go through that? I don't think it can.
Sending can, yeah.
It can?
I mean, somebody else can also just step outside and use the sending stone.
Fair enough, just making sure.
Or I just can't leave the dome.
Well, I mean, we're relatively safe out here by the obelisks already. Why don't you just do the sending and then dome after?
She can cast the spell and someone else can grab the stone and do it. It's not just because she's holding it doesn't mean she's the only one that can use it.
I know, I just don't want to do anything.
It'll only take 30 seconds, so we could just send what we need and then set up camp.
Well, I know these stones only have a very limited amount of words you can say, so we gotta make sure we're as clear as possible, but with as little words as we possibly can.
I will pull out the sending stone.
Okay.
What's the lady's name again?
Malira.
Malira. Like the god?
No, sorry, that is actually just a coincidence. The goddess name is Melora.
Melora.
Melora,
Okay. I
Malira.
was like, why does that name sound familiar? I know why. We reached the tree. Golem protecting. Need to sleep.
Doorfoot.
Doorfoot in golem.
All right, is that the message? Is that it?
No, hold on.
How
many-
I have
That's
11
13
more words.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's 13.
Oh, you still have plenty more.
I'm just trying to think of what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Well, you've got Doorfoot, so I don't think you can.
Say something about the power going into the tree.
From the obelisks.
Obelisks with power dedicated to gods, possibly connected to tree. How many words do I have left?
2.
Okay, bye.
There you go. You pooping?
All right. A few seconds go by, and then you get a response from Malira. Thank you for your report. Be safe out there, and let me know if you find anything else of interest.
She wasted so many words there.
She's much more concise with her words. That was a complete sentence almost.
She didn't even say bye, though.
I'm
Rude.
upset. Should I use the last charge to respond with "I'm upset you didn't say bye"?
It will recharge. I mean, you get another 3 charges back tomorrow, so you could use it.
Why
You
not?
should
Go
say
for it.
bye next time. That's really rude. There's like plenty more words that you could have used. I can't believe you would do that. And it probably cuts off in the middle of the sentence.
We could have used it to get DoorDash.
Yeah. Didn't think of DoorDash.
A few seconds go by. She's like, I apologize. I'm not familiar with the etiquette of using sending stones in dangerous situations. Okay, bye.
That's better. I want to send
You-
her another message, but I can't. I'm gonna become Jester. Sending messages.
All right, well, let's get this dome set up.
Cast my dome. It's a ritual.
You cast Dome. And after about 10 minutes of meticulously drawing out the circle in the ground, you create the dome of magical energy that will protect you for your rest for the night.
Before I fall asleep, but in the dome, and I'm saying this out loud so that it's not me cheating, I'm casting 3 spells into my Wand of Storing.
Okay, which spells?
Shatter? No. Yes. Shatter at 3rd level, Cure Wounds at 2nd level, and Detect Magic. Cure Wounds at 1st level.
Okay.
But can I put a spell in there for you?
I mean, yeah. 3rd level or less.
I was gonna say I could put a 3rd level prayer of healing. That would be pretty useful to have.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So, Shatter, 3rd level, Prayer of Healing, 3rd level.
'Cause that heals everybody, so it's a useful spell to have stored.
I have notes of can cast level 1 or 2 spells in the wand, up to 3 spells. Never mind.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so just do a prayer of healing at level 2 then. That's still 2d8, so
Still good.
Okay, so Shatter and Prayer of Healing at 2nd level, and then a Cure Wounds at 2nd level, 1st level.
All right. As you make your preparations for the evening, you create a small campfire to cook the, well, it depends on what you brought. I'm not sure what the nature of the kinds of foods your character would bring out into this wilderness to eat for the night.
I probably brought a
Granola.
charcuterie. Did I say that right? Charcuterie?
Charcuterie.
Close
Yeah. That's what I brought. Lots of cheese and crackers.
Oh, you brought cheese and... Oh, I love cheese and crackers. Is there any prosciutto on there?
I mean,
My body
If it-
can't
if-
process cheese.
it's a little salted, but it's on there.
That's fine.
I don't think that would hold well.
It wouldn't.
I was like, cheeses and stuff will be fine, but the bullier I get, the better.
All right.
And I probably have like a flask of wine too.
So everybody subtract 1 ration.
Zeus, what are you eating?
Rations. Just rations.
It's literally like it's gray squares that say rations on them.
Yeah.
It's like military food.
Yeah.
Yep. Got some MREs.
Nutrition squares.
Yeah.
I would have spent like double the cost to get better rations. Just so they were tasty.
Get an MRE with bubblegum.
All right. So you prepare your sleeping arrangements, set up your bedrolls, and prepare for the coming night. And now that you have this dome, you probably don't really need to have a night watch, but you can still, if you prefer, to keep yourselves
We should
safer.
still have a watch just to like know what's going on outside, but they can't technically get in here.
Yeah, I'll say, like I said before, I only need to transfer 4 hours, so if you need me to watch, I'm more than willing.
Does the dome, does it it lasts 8 hours, correct?
Mhm.
Or is it longer than that?
8 hours.
Okay.
Who's taking the first watch then?
Me.
Everyone, one by one, drifts off to sleep while Emmy continues to study his notes.
I'd probably be sewing again.
Yeah, continues to sew.
It's
menu
relaxing.
vertebrae.
It distracts me from all the weird noises outside.
You-
So.
You can use mending to fix the many holes that were torn in your coat by the
Oh yeah.
skewers.
Yeah, I would definitely be fixing my coat, probably cleaning it a little bit because it probably has dirt and blood all over it.
For sure.
Use my Tide stick.
You watch the rest of your group, and you see some of them seem to be dreaming, and you sort of wonder what that's like. And then you remember that that's why that guy created that drug, and perhaps it's not a good idea to consider it for too long.
Would
Yeah.
a tide stick in this time just be a wand of prestidigitation?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm one of those.
I probably have something like that.
I'll just use the prestidigitation one on each of us before we go to sleep. So we're all clean and smell like flowers.
I don't want to smell like flowers. I want to smell like dirt and.
You smell like flowers.
Sadness.
Dirt and sadness. In
He
that
probably
order.
had-
I want to
He
smell like
probably has-
despair.
Probably hasn't bathed since the last one, so he probably still has like that slight scent of like acid on him from the cube.
Oh dear.
Green and pine sol.
It's Power Pine Sol. Anyway, Emmy, as you watch the three of your companions that all seem to be dreaming, which is odd, just like everyone all having dreams at the same time. The rest of you are experiencing all different kinds of dreams. I'm gonna roll to see who gets who we going, what happening. Okay, Gregthos, you wake up in a dome. It looks like it's you have that strange sensation of looking up at the starry night sky, and it suddenly starts to feel like it's a dome extending up high up above you. And you sort of marvel at the stars for a moment, and you've spent a lot of time studying the stars, and so you know all the constellations that are visible to you at all the different kinds of seasons, even though you only get brief glimpses of it through the almost permanent cloud cover over Clearlight. And as you're studying the sky, looking for something you recognize, you can't find anything familiar. These stars are completely different from what you're expecting, and nothing changes. You don't see anything different, but suddenly you come to the realization that it's because these are not the starry night sky. You're being watched. Each one of these pinpoints of light in the sky is an eye watching you, or watching this world, perhaps. And you don't know why, but you just know that you need to avoid the gaze of these creatures. Whatever these things are, whatever is watching this world, it is terrible. You hope against all hope that none of them notice you in particular, and just having that thought, unfortunately, catches the attention of a star, and it moves to loom over you, and then you realize, wait, where am I? What have I been sitting on? And you look down, and the ground that you've been sitting on opens up, and it is an eye, and you are now falling into the iris of a strange, giant orange eyeball. And that's the end of your dream.
I may have peed. Nope, definitely peed.
I was gonna say, do I smell a strong scent of urine coming from
I-
Gregthos' position?
I am not going to force that upon you. If you want to make your character pee, that's up to you, my dude. You cannot put that decision on me. But Zeus, you have a very different dream. You wake up in the same place you fell asleep, looking around at the obelisks. But as you look at them, they all seem to glow, and the vines and roots and all the other plant matter that's covering them is burned away, and just a brilliant pink light emanates from all of these crystal obelisks surrounding you. And you have no particular expertise in magic. You don't really know how all this stuff works, but these don't give off an aura of malice. They seem to offer protection and love. And you hear a voice speak to you. It is definitely not the voice you expect from an entity that gives off an aura of love. It says, "This is how it was meant to be. But things have gone terribly wrong. I am relying on you. Destiny cannot protect you. Not this time." And that's the end of your dream.
Fun.
Zeus also pees.
If so, it's for unrelated reasons.
Okay.
Put his hand in some water.
This dome is really small. Can we not?
We're just gonna be swimming in pee.
There's no ventilation in here. Like, you can control the temperature, but like,
Not the smell.
but Rissa, you also have a strange dream this night, sleeping in the middle of these obelisks surrounded by all this magical energy. You feel like you are resting peacefully, and then something pokes you. Something like a tiny pinprick, like you've been bitten by a bug. And you turn your attention to the place where it happened, and you see not a bug, or not a single bug, but many tiny, tiny creatures. And as soon as you look at them, they all seem to scatter, run away. And you are somewhat confused by their reaction. They seem to have bitten you or pricked you a second ago, and then as soon as you turn to see them, they are fearful. They were attacking you before, and now they are fearful. Strange. And you wake up.
There's something on my face. I look where I got the bite mark. In my dream, half asleep.
Yeah, it was on just like your knee.
I look at my knee.
There's nothing there. The feeling is
Fantastic.
gone.
I do not like sleeping out here.
Yeah.
Emmy, you've seen all of your companions having these strange dreams, and perhaps they all didn't happen at exactly the same time, but over the course of the night, each of your companions has one of these fitful sleeps. Some of them worse off than others.
Kind of thinks to himself, like, I'm sometimes glad I can't dream. That doesn't seem very fun. Whatever they're thinking about right now.
Yeah, you've heard stories of wonderful, great dreams, and also terrifying, horrible ones. So, it seems to be a mixed bag. Probably better if you stay away.
Yeah.
Have access. The dream, the drug that is available to that you can buy just about anywhere in the city, not just about anywhere, but that you can get in the city, is not as bad for elves. It was specifically made for elves, so it's doable. Still probably not advisable.
Yeah, but at least in his trances, he can control what he thinks, so he likes that.
But all of you wake up for the quote-unquote morning. It's mostly just Emmy gets bored and wakes everybody up at some point, and then or whoever is taking the last watch wakes everybody up, because the amount of daylight changes very little. It's like the sun is always a dim red orb seen through dark clouds every day. So there is a day and night, but they're not so different from each other. And it usually doesn't matter because the lights are always on in Clearlight anyway. But you begin to get ready, you pack up all your things, you prepare for another day adventuring out, and you hear, coming from the direction of the massive golem, a loud crash. As if the massive creature has moved. And that's where we'll end our session.
I just changed my diaper.
More teeth.
Yay, we long rested.
Hooray!
And nobody died.
This
I am so
time.
proud of us. We didn't die, guys.
Oh my god.
First time for everything.
Thank you so much for checking out Behold Clearlight, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play game. This world is brought to you by Ryan and played by a group of friends who are just looking to have fun and share our love for the tabletop world. Every other Thursday, we will release a new episode of Behold Clearlight. On the off weeks, Greg and I join other members of the TTRPG community and play non-D&D games. You can also check out Greg and I having random discussions on topics in the TTRPG and D&D world with guests on Mondays. If you enjoyed this, please don't hesitate to reach out on Twitter or on Facebook at Beholder to No One. Also, give us a review on iTunes or follow us on Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Keep being awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.